only then. If you feel guilty about flowers, you may pass through the garden, but you will pass with closed eyes. And you will be in a hurry, in a deep, mad haste. Somehow you have to go out of the garden. Then how you can be aware? So Tantra says, accept whatsoever you are. A great mystery of many multi-dimensional energies. Accept it and move with every energy with deep sensitivity, with awareness, with love, with understanding. Move with it. Then every desire becomes a vehicle to go beyond it. Then every energy becomes a help. And then this very world is nirvana. And then this very body is temple, is a holy temple, a holy place. Yoga is negation. Tantra is affirmation. Yoga thinks in terms of duality. And that's why the word yoga. It means to put two things together. To yoke two things together. But two things are there. The duality is there. Tantra says there is no duality. If there is duality, then you cannot put them together. And howsoever you try, they will remain two. Howsoever put together, they will remain two. And the fight will continue. And the dualism will remain. If the world and the divine are two, then they cannot be put together. If really they are not two, they are only appearing as two, only then they can be one. If your body and your soul are two, then they cannot be put together. If you and the God are two, then there is no possibility of putting them together. They will remain two. Tantra says there is no duality. It is only an appearance. So why have appearance to grow more? Tantra says, why helped this appearance of duality to grow more? Dissolve it this very moment. Be one. Through acceptability you become one, not through fight. Accept the world, accept the body, accept everything that is inherent in it. Don't create a different center in you. Because for Tantra, that different center is nothing but the ego. For Tantra, remember, that is nothing but the ego. Don't create an ego. Just be aware what you are. If you fight, then the ego will be there. So it is difficult to find a yogi who is not an egoist. It is difficult. And yogis may go on talking about egolessness, but they cannot be egoless. Their very process creates the ego. The fight is the process. If you fight, you are bound to create an ego. And the more you fight, the more strengthened the ego will be. And if you win in your fight, then you will achieve the supreme ego. Tantra says, no fight. then there is no possibility of the ego. If we understand Tantra, then there will be many problems. Because for us, if there is no fight, there is only indulgence. No fight means indulgence for us. And then we become afraid. We have indulged for lives together, and we have reached nowhere. But for Tantra, indulgence is not our indulgence. Tantra says, indulge, but be aware. You are angry. Tantra will not say, don't be angry. Tantra says, be angry, wholeheartedly, but be aware. Tantra is not against anger. Tantra is only against spiritual sleepiness, spiritual unconsciousness. Be aware and be angry. And this is the secret of the method, that if you are aware, anger is transformed. It becomes compassion. So Tantra says, don't say anger is your enemy. It is compassion in seed. The same anger, the same energy will become compassion. If you fight with it, then there will be no possibility for compassion. So if you succeed in fighting and suppression, you will be a dead man. There will be no anger because you have suppressed it. There will be no compassion also, because only anger can be transformed into compassion. If you succeed in your suppression, which is impossible, then there will be no sex, but no love also. Because with the sex dead, there is no energy to grow into love. So you will be without sex, but you will be also without love. And then the whole point is missed. Because without love there is no divineness. And without love there is no liberation. And without love there is no freedom. Tantra says these same energies are to be transformed. It can be said in this way: if you are against the world, then there is no nirvana. Because this world itself is to be transformed into nirvana. Then you are against the basic energies, which are the source. So Tantra alchemy says, don't fight, be friendly. With all the energies that are given to you, welcome them. Feel grateful that you have anger, that you have sex, that you have greed. Feel grateful because these are the hidden sources, and they can be transformed and they can be opened. And when sex is transformed, it becomes love. The poison is lost. The ugliness is lost. The seed is ugly, but when it becomes alive, it sprouts and flowers. Then there is beauty. Don't throw this seed, because you are also throwing the flowers in it. They are not there yet. so manifest that you can see them. They are unmanifest, but they are there. Use this seed so that you can attain to flowers. Acceptability, a sensitive understanding and awareness. Then indulgence is allowed. One thing more, which is really very strange, but one of the deepest discoveries of Tantra, and that is, whatsoever you take as your enemies, greed, anger, hate, sex, whatsoever, your attitude that they are enemies makes them your enemies. Take them as divine gifts and approach them with a very grateful heart. For example, Tantra has developed many techniques for the transformation of sex energy. Approach sexual act as if you are approaching the temple of the divine. Approach sexual act as if it is prayer, as if it is meditation. Feel the holiness of it. That's why in Khajuraho, in Puri, in Konark, every temple is with Mathun sculpture. Sex act on the walls of temples seems illogical, particularly for Christianity, for Islam, for Jainism. It seems inconceivable, contradictory. How the temple is joined with Mathun pictures. On the outer wall of Khajuraho temples, every type of conceivable sexual act is pictured in a stone. Why? In the temple, it doesn't look, it doesn't have any place in our minds at least. Christianity cannot conceive a church wall with Khajuraho pictures. Impossible. Modern Hindus also feel guilty because modern Hindus' minds are created by Christianity. They are Hindu Christians, and they are worse because to be a Christian is good, but to be a Hindu Christian is just weird. They feel guilty. One Hindu leader, Purushottam Das Tandon, even proposed that these temples should be destroyed. They don't belong to us. Really, it looks they don't belong to us because Tantra has not been in our hearts for a long time, for centuries. It has not been the main current. Yoga has been the main current. And for yoga, Khajuraho is inconceivable. It must be destroyed. Tantra says, approach sex act as if you are entering a holy temple. That's why they pictured sex act on their holy temples. They said, approach sex as you are entering a holy temple. So when you enter a holy temple, sex must be there. So they become conjoined, in your mind associated, so that you can feel the world and the divine are not two fighting elements, but one. They are not contradictory, but polar opposites helping each other. And they can exist only because of this polarity. If this polarity is lost, the whole world is lost. So see the deep running oneness. Don't see the polar points only. See the inner running current which makes them one. For Tantra, everything is holy. Remember this. For Tantra, everything is holy. Nothing is unholy. Look at it in this way. For an irreligious person, everything is unholy. For so-called religious persons, something is holy, something unholy. For Tantra, everything is holy. One Christian missionary was with me some days before. And he said, God created the world. So I asked him, who created the sin? He said, devil. Then I asked him, who created the devil? Then he was at a loss. He said, of course, God created the devil. Devil creates the sin and God creates the devil. Then who is the real sinner? Devil or God? But a dualist conception always leads to such absurdities. For Tantra, God and devil are not two. Really, for Tantra, there is nothing which can be called devil. Everything is divine. Everything is holy. And this seems at the right standpoint, the deepest. If anything is unholy in this world, from where it comes? And how it can be? So only two alternatives are there. The alternative first of the atheist, who says everything is unholy, then it is okay. He is also a non-dualist. He sees no holiness in the world. Or the Tantra alternative, everything is holy. He is again a non-dualist. But between these two, the so-called religious persons are not really religious. Neither religious nor irreligious. Because then they are always in a conflict. And their whole theology is just making ends to meet, trying ends to meet. And those ends cannot meet. If a single cell, a single atom in this world is unholy, then the whole world becomes unholy. Because how that single atom can exist in a holy world? How it can be? It is supported by everything. To be, it has to be supported by everything. And if the unholy element is supported by all the holy elements, then what is the difference?